So one of my favorite houses in the entire series is the Tyrells. Their coat of arms is a golden rose on a green field, and their words are growing strong. The Tyrells started off not as kings of the Reach, but as loyal stewards to the kings of House Gardener, who they were related to by their common ancestor Garth Greenhard of the Age of Heroes. The Tyrells happily managed the Gardener's affairs and household at Highgarden for thousands of years, until finally news of a stranger came from the east. 300 years ago, King Gardener saw that the Targaryens were rapidly conquering everything in their path, and not wanting his kingdom to be assimilated under a dragon banner, teamed up with King Florent Lannister of the Westerlands to defend their lands. They amassed a huge army of over 50,000 troops, confident that they could easily conquer the opposing army of only 10,000. But little did they know that the Targaryens could have had no army at all, and the outcome would have been the same. Aegon and his sisters took flight on all 3 of their dragons for the very first time and burned the Lannister and Gardener forces, ending the battle in a matter of hours and killing King Gardener and the rest of his house. This event was later known as the Field of Fire. Now, Harlan Tyrell, who was left in charge of Highgarden before the event, surrendered to Aegon peacefully, and in exchange was chosen for the title of Lord Paramount of the Reach and Warden of the South. This caused a lot of bitterness from House Florent, who were closer related to the Gardeners and felt that they should have been picked because of their stronger hereditary claim. The Tyrells remained loyal to the Targaryens and were the first to rally in support of the Mad King Aerys during Robert's rebellion. Lord Randyll Tarly, who was one of the Tyrells' bannermen, pushed back Robert at the Battle of Ashford, and Mace Tyrell himself later held a siege at Robert's home of Storm's End for over a year in an attempt to starve out his brother Stannis. Eventually, Robert of course won the war, but forgave the Tyrells on the condition that they pay to help rebuild the areas that were destroyed by the fighting. I love the Tyrells. They're ambitious opportunists that will do anything to advance themselves, but are able to exercise patience and know better than to kill and ask questions later like some of the Lannisters. Margaery would have to be my favorite for being able to play everyone around her like a fiddle. While the women in this family seem to possess a lot of intelligence and political savvy, the 2 men in the family that we get to meet possess a whole lot of neither. While I don't mind Loras and his older brothers Willis and Garland, who I doubt will ever make it into the TV series by the way, Mace Tyrell definitely has a spot in my most annoying characters list for being denser than a sack of bricks. Spoilers this time, I'll cover everything until the end of A Feast for Crows. Rip off those daisy chains because we're getting started in 3, 2, 1. Willis and Garland continue to deal with the Ironborn threat in the Reach, while their dumbass father and newly appointed Hand of the King, Mace Tyrell, remains in King's Landing to contemplate building a gigantic new Tower of the Hand. I seriously can't stand this guy. But anyways, in the wake of Joffrey's death, Olenna arranges for Margaery to wed the new king, Tommen. Margaery is then accused of her crimes against the faith by Cersei, and now awaits her trial. Loras becomes a part of Tommen's Kingsguard, and is commanded by Cersei to take a host to capture Dragonstone before he's allowed to help his brothers in the Reach. And while he succeeds in taking Dragonstone, he's reported to have been critically injured by a pot of boiling oil being dumped on him. I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to subscribe because next time we're going to be visiting the Stormlands and House Baratheon of Storm's End.